now is here. How does it feel knowing that Trump is coming back to the White House?
It's rather amazing and funny, you know. There is something people didn't pay a lot of attention to the first time when he came. When the FIFA team, the FIFA football team, visited the United States because they are going to host the 2026 World Cup along with Canada and Mexico. So that's a continental hosting of the World Cup, as it were, for the first time. And Trump, who was then seeking to get a second term, which would have run from 2020 to 2024, made a statement. I don't know why he made that statement. He said, 2026, I should have finished my term in 2024, but I'll be there in 2026.
Speaking prophetically.
I mean, he just spoke like that. And here we are. He didn't get the second term successively, but he's getting a second term after 4 years. And prophetically, he's going to be in charge, hopefully, God keeping him alive, to be there when the United States, Canada, and Mexico host the 2026 World Cup.
But we do hope that he gives all of the support needed.
He's already talked about it.
Because considering some of the points he made during COVID and the fact that the U.S. had to reduce, you know, their commitment to the world body and all that.
Well, yesterday at the rally, at the victory rally, he talked about the World Cup. He's expecting it. He wants to see it happen. He's so excited that he's going to be in charge when it happens. He's also excited that he will be the president when America is celebrating 250 years of nationhood and of democracy. So there is a whole lot tied to the Trump presidency, and it's important. It's a presidency that has come at certain milestone times in the history of America. They will be hosting the World Cup. They'll be celebrating 250 years of nationhood. And then it seems more like an ideological rejuvenation. There is a sort of restoration of what America always stood for, a cut away from much more liberal policies, a reclining towards America itself, because they feel that some of the people, especially the Republicans, have always felt that America has done too much outside America and that infrastructure within America is collapsing. And that is the whole idea of the America First thing in the first place.
All right. And of course, the church service is on. You know, that would precede the taking the oath of office, you know, at the rotunda there in the Capitol. Let's talk about some of the events that would, you know, lead into that. And quite uniquely, this event is holding indoors.
Yes.
Another milestone. Well, it happened in the past, but...
It happened in 1985. Yeah. And, you know, there is a bit of similarity in the character of the two persons. Ronald Reagan, an actor, a former actor, and Trump, who is also an impresario of some sort, entertainment impresario, an actor, he into real estate, so many things. So he's also a celeb, like, you know, like Ronald Reagan. Then the thing is, there are so many things also tied around this. Well, the first thing will be the weather. The United States, Washington, D.C. at this moment is going through a massive snowstorm. That it will be dangerous to keep people outside in that amount of snow to be part of the celebration. Then there's also the point of security around this. You know that there's been almost like 2 attempts on Donald Trump and all of that. So, with the way the whole thing has come up and the security situation in America, the porous border, the porous southern border, and the fears of those who might have come into the country, it's important first for the weather and for security to hold it indoors for now. It's a bit of the sensitivity about some of the issues happening around the United States of America.
All right, and counting down to midday in the U.S., in Washington, you know, when this will take place, I think they're about 6 hours.
Yes, Washington, the Eastern Board.
Yeah, or, you know, 6 hours behind us. Let's talk about some of the events that, you know, some of the things that would take place before the actual swearing in.
Well, right now, a lot of people, I think that if Washington was a country, if Washington, D.C. was a country,
yes,
they will be smiling to the bank at the moment because tourists have, you know, swooped on Washington. And you would also imagine that January 6, 2021 was when people came, and that was another story altogether, yes, about insurrection. But this time, people have come the way they came on January 6th. They've also trooped to Washington, D.C., but this time for celebration and not to try to stop a mandate, as it were. So it's a beautiful thing for a lot of Americans, because this is a sweeping mandate by an American president. Who won the college vote, who won the popular vote, who has the majority in the House of Representatives, who has a majority in the Senate. I mean, you can't have it better than that. And this is like a president who has come prepared for exactly what he wants to do. Immediately he's sworn in, he's ready to sign 200 executive
Solomon,
bills.
That is massive. Okay, we have some live pictures. We have some live pictures where Donald Trump just left St. John's Church, where the church service held ahead of the swearing-in ceremony. There he is, approaching the car. He's getting into the car now. Yes, seated right in the car. The door is shut.
I think that the beautiful thing about the Trump administration is that he has made no pretense about religion. He has made no pretense about resisting the shutting down of people's faith liberty. That's what they call it in the US, the liberty of faith, the liberty to worship and all of that. And so they will make an open show of the fact that, look, you are free to worship whoever, whatever you want to worship, and you cannot force your religion on any other person. And I think that he's making this sort of statement with this sort of inauguration church service to usher him into power and all of that. Yeah. But one beautiful thing for us is also that our own people are there. People like Nathaniel Bassey, who are, part of this in the celebration. It shows that Nigeria is exporting something good. So it's not just Nigerian politicians who will be invited, or maybe a Nigerian president, but Nigerian entertainers, Nigerian gospel singers, Nigerian preachers have been invited to this place. So it's a good thing for us. It's something that we are keying into, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because I have looked forward to a day like this when Donald J. Trump, despite all the demonization and the things that people said about him, and this is a man that a lot of people outside the United States don't have a proper history of him and his family. People don't know that that's a family of geniuses. His uncle, John, was the one who took the inquiry, the commission of inquiry into Nikola Tesla's inventions, some of his dark mysteries surrounding Nikola Tesla and the electric vehicles or electric currents and all of that. So in that family, it's a very powerful, a very strong family, and people have spent so much time demonizing Donald because of his style.
So Solomon, we hope to see some, ingenious policies and inventions, during Trump's
You've already seen it even before he's sworn in.
All right.
The ceasefire in Gaza is because of his intervention. Some of the issues surrounding Ukraine at the moment, countries around the world are listening because, look, they feel that this is the one president they can respect, a president who says a thing and follows it through. And so the whole world is standing at attention. But some really scared of his whole.
But some of those policies are actually ambiguous, because talking about Russia, Ukraine, for instance, some say that, okay, this is a stance that would make Ukraine appear like they are, just stepping aside rather than, firing on all cylinder. But that's not what we're talking about, Solomon. So let's get straight to the inauguration proper. Earlier, we're talking about Donald Trump's plans to sign about 100 executive orders on day one. That's quite massive. It's like history, is being made. But then let's look at how some of these policies could affect us as Africans.
Yes, so one of the things that Donald Trump did in the first term was fracking. the drilling thing, which he says he's going to resume. And that will have very serious implications for the economies of the world, especially oil-producing countries. America has one of the biggest, one of the largest oil reserves, which they decided that they were not going to touch it. And then America had been in the forefront, under the liberals, had been in the forefront of, lowering fossil fuel, the utilization of fossil fuel, and then going into alternative energy. But Donald Trump says, no, you're not going to destroy a lot of industries. You're not going to give mandate for those things. You are going to allow inventions. You are going to allow the free market determining those things. And as far as America is, Donald Trump is concerned, America has to be an oil independent. America does not have to depend on Russia or anybody. America has oil. So let us drill the oil. Once power energy, the cost of energy is lowered because you have surplus of it, then prices of goods, prices of everything will come down because Americans are paying over the odds at the moment for the things that they need, for the basic things of life. And so he feels it's all down to energy. Once you can bring down the price of energy, everything goes down. And so the implication of this will be that America begins to drill oil. America is one of the biggest consumers of oil around the world. And once America begins to drill its own oil, it will not have to buy from OPEC a lot. And so the price, the demand for oil will drop. And so that has very serious implications for us. And that is why, as a country, we need to step